Alright, this is Taipan from Shanzai.com, and we're here now looking at a new tablet. Actually, this is the A7017 Wi-Fi-Tablet. Got an exciting name for you. It's a Marvell based processor, PX8303, running at about 624 megahertz and 128 megabits of RAM, so that's kind of nice. And it's running still Android 1.5, and it's got 2 gigabytes of of memory on board to support that Android implementation. It's an interesting device that we're looking at because it's actually probably the hardest working device we've seen in terms of actual responsiveness and in terms of how this product performs. We were really impressed by the raw grunting power of the processor. Marvell's done a great job there for finding a very responsive and snappy experience, even with Android 1.5, even on a very entry-level type product. The other thing that's also interesting about this product is that it's kind of got a very utilitarian, sturdy look and feel about it. There's some of the it's not as sexy as some of the unibody designs that we've seen during Computex, but if you look at the device and we kind of walk through it a little bit here, you'll see it's even got some rubber stands here on the bottom. It's obviously designed to be placed down on the actual tabletop as well. And very interestingly, in the same vein, it's got an Ethernet connection. So they're expecting you to be able to connect to your landline there and be able to get as fast browsing speeds as you'll want on your device. Of course, we're also seeing some micro USB connection here. We've got headphones out. We've got a standard USB connection. So pretty much all of your connectivity options that you're looking for. We've got the power supply there for you here on this end as well. On the top of the device, we've got an additional power button that's dedicated itself, a SIM card slot, but to be honest, at this stage it's just a tease. Boy, we were excited when we saw that, but actually it's actually probably for another generation, or probably the next level model from these guys, we'll probably see a functioning SIM card slot. We've got the micro SD there, that we've got a 2 gigabyte SD card in there now with some content and whatnot for you on the device. Coming around the rest of the device, there's actually includes a stylus here on the end of the product, which is a bit strange because actually this is one of the better functioning tablets that we've got our hands on. We haven't really found any need to actually pull the stylus out and play with it. Now, at the same time, on the front side of the device, we've got the usual typical 3-button setup for return, home, and menu items for Android. But we've also got a functioning webcam. I think at this point, maybe about 3 months ago, the devices were coming out weren't including that, especially at the lower entry price points, but we're already seeing now the webcam starting to become a standard part of the device. So if we look at this one here, there's a webcam up at the top left, and interestingly enough, these guys are all about the navigation and utility. They've got the stylus, they've got the great touchscreen, and they've got a trackball for moving around the device as well. And the trackball is actually a lot more functional than we thought. When I first saw it, I had a little bit of a laugh, but I find myself actually using it to scroll through the different applications, click and to open them, and it's really quite impressive actually. Now, we've got it hooked up to the Wi-Fi here. Let's see, let's try to do some little bit of web performance for you here. We'll do some searching here on Google. It's a little bit slow. Again, we tend to blame our network here. We haven't got the fastest Wi-Fi in-house here at Shanzai.com. So we found this is actually performance on this has been typical of all the other tablets that we've had. I wouldn't say it's faster, I wouldn't say it's slower, it would seem to be about the same. It's looking a little slow now, but again, I would say that's probably our network, not the actual device. We've been playing around with it for the last couple of days, and most of the time the web surfing's been pretty reasonable while the connection's been strong. Let's move on from that for a moment there. One place where the product does let down, it's amazingly enough, with all this performance and snappiness and responsiveness of the device, actually the things where it does let down is in the area of video. So for example, they have a Meridian application here that they've got set up to play the video. We've got, let's play some, actually I think I've already got some content on the device that we can try playing with it. Let's file explore around so you can just get an idea how well things sort of respond and open up on the device. You can see that it's moving around pretty quickly here. Let's go into some of the folders here. Let's go into our test folder where we've got all of our typical apps, ebooks, images, and music and videos. Now video. Of course, for kicks on the device, we've actually loaded some different formats. A couple of MP4, 480p, 720p, also some MPEG and WMV video. Now, let's try with this. Is an H.264 Booth Babes video that we made during Computex. We've got the link on the site for you here in the video, so you can go over to watch that one if you get excited. I'm not getting excited. I have to say these girls look a lot better when they're moving and walking around. The audio seems to be fine, but you can see that unfortunately the device is not really handling the video playback. It's just showing a still image there. So that was a bit disappointing. I can tell you straight up, the 720p just doesn't play at all either. What was surprising though, especially for Android here, is it doesn't even want to play the WMV file at all. So as far as in terms of performance for the actual video, I'd have to say it's a bit of a non-starter for this product, but it does make up with it for it in some other areas. The audio, if you just noticed there at the beginning we were fooling around with the song, that was the Robot song by Margaret Berger. Nice little Android homage kind of tune for you guys. And the audio that you could hear during the video, the speaker on the back of the device, which you can see here, it gives a really excellent performance. It's really loud, really clear, much more clear and louder than we've seen in other devices. One of the places where this product also really stands out is as an ebook reader. Now we've already had one of our books opened up here, and it's one of the things is, okay, these devices, first of all, it's very nice here in landscape mode. It doesn't appear to be any accelerometer action anyway in the device. Tapping the device, very smooth scroll to the next page as you're reading along. I would say this is actually a very readable experience for the for this particular size of device and style of device. You can set your bookmarks. It's got the typical Android iReader application if you're familiar with that one using it here. But as you can see, really easy to just plow your way through the book. Probably one of the better ebook reader applications that we've seen, and also very well implemented on this particular device. Standard out of the box, there's some other interesting things that we found when we got the device. It didn't include any Western social networking functions. We added in Skype and Facebook. Both of those we were able to install easily through the micro SD card slot after downloading those from off the internet. However, once we got those on, we weren't able to connect with them. They set up fine, they worked well in terms of that sense, but I weren't able to test them. So I'm not sure, again, if that's our network, again, where it's notoriously poor here, or some functionality problem of the device is confused whether it's a phone or a tablet. A little bit tough to say in that sense. Games-wise, there's not much on here except for some of the basic stuff. There's like this Gomoku game, which is kind of like a Chinese checkers type similar device. I don't know, there's not much more to really look at in terms of the stuff that you wouldn't typically want to get on the device yourself. I don't know, overall we were really impressed with it. It's kind of one of those devices where, for me, I'm quite happy with it. It's lighter than an iPad still, although it's maybe a bit chunkier than some of the smaller tablets that we've seen. So I'm really happy with that. The navigation function is really good. Most of the functionality is really excellent. It's just probably only the video which is a bit of a letdown. So anyway, there's the device for you. Give you kind of a quick look at it. We'll do a little bit more explanation of the device in the write-up for you. This is just our first review of the A7017 Wi-Fi tablet.